Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Bigak Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today we're checking out what Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran has to say. He has an update about the Israeli leaders. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at someone who is actually in the Israeli parliament, who went ahead and sat down with Benjamin Netanyahu in a room full of other Israeli government officials and called Benjamin Netanyahu out on all of his garbage that he has been committing and all of the war crimes that he has been committing. He actually got kicked out of the room, the government building, which I find very interesting for a democracy or a democratic state. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into these things. So first thing we're going to start with is Ayatollah talking about the death sentence for the leaders in the Israeli government. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say.
The actions the Israelis are taking are not a victory. They are war crimes. Issuing Netanyahu's arrest warrant is not enough. His execution warrant must be issued. Bombing people's homes is not a victory. These fools should not think that because they bomb people's homes, because they bomb hospitals, because they bomb civilian gatherings, they have achieved victory. No. No one in the world considers this a victory. This is not a victory. These are not victories. The crimes of the Zionist regime in Lebanon, Gaza, and Palestine ultimately lead to the exact opposite of what they intend to achieve. Instead, they strengthen and intensify the resistance.
Okay, so his message right here is there are a lot of charges to the international court on Benjamin Netanyahu and his other people around him, his goons, and they want to arrest them and put them in life for the rest of their life, put them in jail for life. But he's saying that this is not enough. They deserve the death sentence. Anyone that commits these type of war crimes or does these type of things, they deserve death. They don't deserve something light. This isn't like they stole from the store or they were the head of a drug organization. And even the head of drug organizations, they get the death sentence. People who are rapists, they get the death sentence. Why are people who kill 50 to 100,000 people in a year, blow them up from the sky, command complete war crimes, rapes, burning of buildings, people alive? Like, how does he just walk away with, just normal prison? And he'll probably be catered to in prison and all of these different things. So he's calling for the death sentence of the top Israeli officials. This is something that happened when Saddam Hussein was in power. They took Saddam Hussein. They tried him for crimes against humanity. He committed war crimes against his own people. And they hung him. They gave him the death sentence by hanging him. And with Benjamin Netanyahu, they just want to put him in jail. So the Ayatollah of Iran not liking Israel very, very much, is saying that he does not deserve jail. He deserves the death sentence for the war crimes that they have been committing and the atrocities that they've been committing on Lebanon and Palestine. And it's very, very, very sad to see that the world is in a state that is this right now. But inshallah, and hopefully this all goes and passes soon. Everything happens for a reason. The people who are fighting right now, it is segregating, separating, and it is revealing a lot of truths to the world. Yes, a lot of people have died. Yes, a lot of people are suffering and are injured and are dealing with the worst right now. But it has also wakened up a lot of the world. It has separated and segregated a lot of people into different classes. People have woken up to see a lot of different truths, to see a lot of the power be allocated in different ways. People understand, a lot of the people who are in power now, that the system that is above them is corrupt, that the system that is above them is controlling them in every aspect and every way of their life. They understand how the media portrays. They understand how their government plays foreign games and plays with proxy wars to try and colonize the rest of the world. And it's a very, very big wake-up call for not just the Muslims or the Jewish people of Israel, not just the Americans or the people in Europe, for the whole entire world. This is a wake-up call. And if the world does not wake up right now, we are heading down a very, very, very evil and terrible, 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 terrible path for the rest of our future, for the rest of our kids' future. And inshallah, hopefully, that we stop going down this path, because the path that we're going down right now is no bueno. It is no good. And if it continues this way, we can literally lead to like the extermination and extinction of the human race, of all of the other creatures on this planet, and it's very, very, very sad to see the path that the human being has gone towards. And it's all for ego. It's all for I'm right, you're wrong. It's all for that's mine and not yours. All for stuff that you're gonna die and not be able to keep. They're fighting for land, they're fighting for resources, they're fighting for power, and then they die and they have no power, they have no land, they have no money. They go back to their creator, and then what? What is eternal hellfire gonna do for you? You might as well find a relationship with your creator, repent for what you've done, and end up in heaven. Like, the things that we do here on this earth, it's so temporary, life goes so fast, none of it's worth it. And it's so sad to see that there's people out there like Netanyahu and the people who run these governments who do such atrocious things to complete populations. Like, they don't fear God in any way, shape, or form, but they will. They will. After they pass away and God resurrects them for Judgment Day, they will fear God in the highest way. It's so sad to see that the world is what it is today. This right here is a gentleman who is in the Israeli government. He is speaking to Netanyahu about a specific man who had babies, and he went to go see his babies after they were born, and they got blown up. Two brand new newborn babies and the mother, and he never got to see his newborn children or his wife after she gave birth. So. And he's speaking this to Benjamin Netanyahu. He's speaking this in front of the government of Israel. He is Israeli as well.
עד שהגעתי לדלפק הקבלה של בית החולים, וחלק מהשכנים אמרו לי ברעד, הם בתוך מקפיאי המתים. לא עברו 10 דקות מאז הוצאתי תעודת הלידה, ופתאום אני מוציא להם תעודות פטירה. התמוטטתי. בעזה יש 17,038 תינוקות שהמערכת שלך הרגה, ביניהם 825 תינוקות מתחת לגיל שנה. בעזה היום 35,055 תינוקות יתומים. הדם של כולם ירדוף אותך, ואתה בעזות מצח תוהה על כך שאתה מואשם בבית הדין בהאג. בנימין נתניהו,
חברי הכנסת,
מהו החזון שלך? מה החזון שלך, תגיד לי? מזה 30 שנה אתה רוצח סדרתי של השלום.
לא, עצור. רד מהדוכן מיד. רד מהדוכן מיד. להוריד אותו עכשיו.
מה החזון שלך?
רוצח סדרתי בקפלן, לא פה.
רוצח סדרתי של השלום זה אתה.
רד מהדוכן. רוצח סדרתי, רד מפה.
So this is a democracy, ladies and gentlemen. He's a director of something. I don't know what the Kasanat is, but he's a director of something, which means he is a high-up official. He controls people below him. He's speaking in a democratic country, and they're pulling him off the stage because obviously in a democracy, you're not allowed to say what you want or share your view. Especially like in a government, like everyone in the government in a democracy should share the same view, should all believe the same thing, so that stuff like this doesn't happen and people don't get pulled off, or else it's not a democracy anymore. You want democracy to be as communist as possible. You want a democracy to have only one viewpoint and everyone in the government to have that same viewpoint. Hell, even in a democracy, you might as well just make everyone the same race. Like everyone in Israeli government should just be Jewish and nothing else. So that way all of them have the same viewpoint and think the same way, and that way no one will ever have any other way or say. That's a true democracy. That's true freedom, in my opinion, when you're getting pulled off the stage for saying or speaking your mind. It's very, very sad that the world has come to this. It's very, very sad that in a democracy, is what they call Israel, that when you're speaking to the president and you're calling him out for the things that he has done over the last couple of years here, and you're asking him what his plan is, and you're asking him what's going to happen next, and you're calling him out for all of these things, that you're pulled off stage. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to ask real rational questions. Only the stupid ones. Only the ones that will justify or make the people look good that are actually evil. It's very, very sad.
רוצח סדרתי הוא אחד מהם. תודה רבה.
Guys, he's so evil. Look at his face. He's so evil. Like his face, his voice, everything about it is so evil.
חבר הכנסת גלעד קריב, בבקשה.
Bro, they're grown adults. They're grown adults acting like children because they heard something they didn't like. These are people who are in government. These are the people who make decisions and change laws and go to war. People who are emotionally triggered by something like that. People who can't even listen to words without removing someone from a room. These are the people who make the important decisions in a country, in a democracy. It's got to be a joke. It's really a joke when I go ahead and I watch stuff like this, especially on the American government side, and I see the people who are in our government. It's just sickening. Like, who put you there? There's no way anyone voted you there. Like, who? Your 5 family members voted you and no one else voted? And, like, now you're sitting in a cabinet seat? You're like, I cannot believe my eyes sometimes when I'm watching these videos in the government, when the whole entire government's there and they're making decisions on specific laws, or they're interviewing people from specific companies like Facebook. And, like, my mind, when I watch these things, like, I cannot believe these are full-grown adults with billions of dollars who own corporations, who run the government. Like, they act like 5-year-olds. Yeah, it's over. All right. So, Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, he is looking to apply the death sentence on the Israeli leaders, including Benjamin Netanyahu. He says jail is not enough and that the death sentence should apply. And it makes sense for the things like Saddam Hussein did, for instance, and him getting a death sentence, and America provoking this death sentence and capturing him and doing all of these things and claiming he had weapons of mass destruction when he didn't. Well, Israel does have weapons of mass destruction. They are using a lot of these weapons that are not defensible in the region that they're bombing, and they're destroying thousands and thousands of innocent civilians. They have turned Gaza into rubble, which will take 20 plus years to rebuild. And unfortunately, these individuals have done something that is irreversible for all of humanity. This is going to be marked in history, and this is going to excuse me, and this is going to change the future. And it's very, very, very sad to see the world in the state that it's in today, how people have split and segregated each other, how they have today. The second clip that we watched is, sorry, I'm going to sneeze again, is an Israeli official going ahead and calling Benjamin Netanyahu out on his war crimes and what he has done, giving a beautiful, beautiful depiction of a story about a gentleman who had 2 children with his wife, and his 2 children, as soon as they gave birth, 10 minutes later, died, and was, as soon as he was given their birth certificate, he was given their death certificate. And these are things, and these are the atrocities that are happening in Palestine to the Palestinian people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect these people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the eyes of every single human being on this planet and turn everyone towards him. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. It doesn't matter if it's going to be from war, old age, or whatever the case may be, getting hit by a car when you're crossing the street. We're all going to die. This life is a test for every single one of us, and we will all return to our Creator at the end of the day. Life is temporary, but your soul is forever. So make sure, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, that you're working on your soul. Do not waste your time in this life destroying it. Do not waste your time in this life destroying other people and other people's soul. Be kind to each other, be good to each other, and find and seek God. Find and seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. God bless every single one of you, and free Palestine, free Lebanon, and free the whole entire world from this deception and disgust that has spread like a cancer. God bless every single one of you, and until next time, bye-bye.